Hello everyone. So in the previous video we have talked about function and we have taken some real life scenarios and some real life examples to relate with you guys how does function really works in our day-to-day life. So now in today's video we would be talking a bit more about function and we would be directly shifting towards something called recursion and what does it means and how does it works. So with that let's move on to that. So now we have something called function that whose name is countdown with loop. So in this we have the function that is countdown with loop and we are passing something called 5 as a value over here and we are receiving this as a parameter in start variable. Now we are using the for loop over here and in the for loop we are just assigning this value of start that is 5 to our I variable and we are just checking this 5 is greater than 0. Yeah, 5 is greater than 0. So like we would be just simply printing console.log that is 5 and then after we would be just decrementing the value that is from 5 to 4. Then again we would be checking the condition that is 4 is greater than 0. Yeah, it is. Then we would just simply printing 4 and in the same sense 3 2 1, but when we go for the 0 that 0 is greater than 0. Yeah, no, it is not. So 0 equals 0, so we would be just getting out of the loop, we can exit the loop and we can just simply print console.log happy new year. And this is the way like you guys can see around yourself when we do have new year around us, like we do have something called a countdown for 5 seconds or 10 seconds, and that is the thing that is the beauty of programming. There are things you can see around yourself. The things work in this sense. You can truly relate with them, by the way. So with that, let's work on the recursion side and let us know like what is recursion and how does it work. So basically, recursion is something when we call the same function within the function itself, we call it recursion unless and until we do have something called base condition for it, and unless and until we have achieved that base condition or that base condition is being revoked. So let me repeat that, by the way. Like in recursion, we do call the same function within the function itself unless and until we do have something called base condition that is being achieved or revoked for the function, by the way. So with that, let's have a look on how does it works. So in this we have the same function, but we have created the function name as countdown recursive. You can rename this whatever you want to do, and we are passing something as a parameter that is num. So we are passing the value of num as 5. Now in this we are checking if num is less than equal to 5. That means if 5 is less than equal to 5. Sorry guys, if 5 is less than equal to 0, no, it is not, because 5 is greater than. So in that case, you would be just simply shifting towards else side, and we would be printing console.log num that is 5, and we are just working on the recursion over here, by the way. So what we are doing over here, countdown recursive, that is num minus 1. That is previously we have the value of num as 5. Now we have the num value as 4, by the way. Let me make it more clear for you. I can make it a bit more easier for you guys. So yeah, now once we call this one, previously it was like countdown recursive of 5. Now what we are doing is num minus 1, that is 4, and then again we are calling this function once again. I have said in recursion we do call this same function again and again within the function itself until and unless we have achieved the base case or the base case is being revoked. So in this one, this is the base case, that if we achieve this base case, that is if num is less than equal to 0. I mean, in this case we can directly write if num is equals to 0, so we can just like print the console.log this one, that is happy new year. Else we can just simply do the recursion. So now we are getting we are at the stage we have the value of countdown recursive as 4. The 4 minus 1, it becomes 3. So let me do that once again. We have something called 3. In the same sense, it goes again, it checks num values 3, but we need 0. So it is, this is not the condition. We are going to the else part. Again, we are printing 2 over here, and in the same sense, it goes for 1. Now once we have this one over here, like like in this case we are having one, that is it means we are having 2 minus 1, that is 1, and we are checking the condition again. So that's not the condition. Going over here, that is 1 minus 1, that now it becomes 0. And when it becomes 0, we are checking the condition again, we are passing 0 over here. In recursion the things work in this way. It goes, we provide some condition and it checks the condition and it goes calling the function again and again, and it creates something called stack, and that is a data structure thing that you guys may be familiar of. So, by the way, at the end of this, it creates something called countdown recursive as 0. And when we do have achieved this case, that's our base case, guys. So num equals to 0, that is our base case, and we can just simply print this one, console.log Happy New Year, and we can just exit out of this. And that is the way recursion works, and that is the way the function works. And I do know by this time you guys may be thinking that function is much better than recursion, because the recursion maybe sound complicated for you guys, but trust me, it the things sounds like that, but when you do work with this and you like practice on those things regularly, you would be getting fun out of that using this one. So yeah, this is the basic overview how does function and recursion works, by the way.